Hello, Cogitantes. Usually when a piece of media gets labeled as superficial, it's because there's just absolutely nothing going on under the hood. Like it's total hollow. I mean, it's like putting a lawnmower engine inside a sports car. But if you spent any time on gaming forums lately looking at the discourse around the video game Star Blade, suddenly that logic just completely breaks down because loud detractors have been dismissing the game as this shallow, lazy clone for gooners, while actual players have been experiencing a deeply complex action RPG. What is causing that massive disconnect? We have to see how the outrage surrounding this game actually diagnoses intellectual regression in its critics, which is a heavy claim, I know, but to understand it, we have to look at where people are directing their mental energy. If you look at the players actually holding the controllers, they are engaging with developers Shift Up's first console game on a really highly technical level. For sure, the gameplay is intense. They are mastering this tight Souls-like combat that requires, intense focus on parrying and attack patterns. They're getting lost in the atmospheric urban ruins of the Eidos 7 level. They're heavily analyzing the ethereal soundtrack, and they aren't just blindly praising it either. The Stellar Blade community is actively pointing out where the game stumbles, like the somewhat clunky platforming mechanics or how the English dub feels a bit flat compared to the original Korean audio. They are critically engaging with the systems. But wait, isn't it fair for critics to point out the superficial character design, or does that visual focus completely blind them to the actual gameplay? What's fascinating here, it's the latter, allowing a single visual element to completely override the underlying systems is a phenomenon sociologists call cognitive parsimony. Okay, so what does that actually mean in practice? Well, when you're done scrolling past thousands of images and hot takes every day, your brain physically doesn't have the energy to analyze every single one. It survives by creating visual shortcuts, heuristics, so it can just instantly categorize and discard things. It's an evolutionary shortcut, like how our ancestors learned to instantly recognize the shape of a predator in the bushes to survive. But instead of avoiding a tiger, modern scrollers are seeing a highly stylized character and instantly feeling the whole game under trash just to save brain power. So they are using a surface level visual heuristic to just totally bypass the effort of deep textual and systemic engagement. The game's mechanical complexity becomes literally invisible to them because their brain has already closed that file, and because they refuse to look past that initial visual trigger, they end up lashing out in ways that harm the wider community, which, according to the critique, maps perfectly onto Carlo Cipolla's laws of human stupidity. He breaks human behavior down into four quadrants based on who benefits from action. So there's the intelligent, the bandit, the unfortunate, and the stupid. Let's look at how these works mechanically. An intelligent person takes actions that benefit themselves and others. A bandit benefits themselves at the expense of others. Meanwhile, an unfortunate person arms themselves to benefit someone else, leaving the last quadrant, the most dangerous one. Cipolla's third law defines a stupid person as someone who causes damage to others without gaining any advantage whatsoever for themselves. So what does this all mean? Are the detractors actually proving the very dumbness they accuse the fans of having? If we connect this to the bigger picture, the answer seems to be yes. Fans sitting in forums, sharing boss strategies, building wikis, and discussing the lore of Eidos 7 are operating in the intelligent quadrant because they are deriving personal value and sharing those insights, right? Like creating a mutual benefit for the whole community. And the critics generating performative, irrational outrage over the game's surface aesthetics sit squarely in the stupid quadrant. They degrade the public discourse and alienate the player base. Yeah, they actively try to ruin the fans' experience, but they gain absolutely no real-world advantage from it. There's no tangible reward for that outrage. It just creates ambient negativity. So Stellar Blade is a clear diagnostic tool. The true lack of intellectual engagement isn't coming from the fans mastering the game's parry systems. It's coming from people letting information overload turn off their brains. It's a stark reminder of how high velocity media consumption is conditioning us. When we rely entirely on quick visual shortcuts, we actually drag down the broader cultural conversation for no good reason, which leaves you, dear cogitantes, with a final thought to mull over today. Cipolla's first law states that we inevitably underestimate the number of stupid individuals in circulation. Always a cheerful thought, right? But if human brains are naturally wired to take the intellectually lazy route of judging a book by its cover just to save energy, how many other cultural artifacts have we completely misunderstood? Happy thinking!